shampoo, lost and found. If you have no heart, you hear no sound. If you come up short, it'll come around. If you're too far up, just come down. Yeah, what you give, take what you need. No need to take sides, just feel in between. Find your place in serenity. Find your inner melody. Find your place in serenity. We're not meant to last, we're meant to live. We're meant to breathe, we go too fast, we need to see. Balance is the key. Serenity. Find your place in serenity. Find your inner melody.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, I'm on the wrong screen. Let's go to this one. Oh, hello, Hoodoo. Apparently, Hoodoo wanted to join us today. So, oh, I didn't fix the camera on this one. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, that's not the right one. The camera's fixed, I swear. I did fix it. I don't think I re-added it, so that's probably going to be on me. This one. And add source. And, well, that's technically it, but not really. But, hold on. Get in here. Just don't be weird about it. Just get over here, and we're messing with stuff. We're having fun. We're having fun, guys. And just gonna put it right behind there. Oh, okay. Gotta change the input. Probably should have had not. Definitely gonna learn to make coffee. Come on, work with me. Work with. Okay, it's. I don't think it's gonna work. Ah. Come on. Now I did get the camera to work. Gosh darn it. Because I had to basically re-add it. Drat. Who do not eat my mouse cable. Will you stop messing with that? I said don't eat it. All right, well, that's the rug. Say hi to the rug, guys. That's our nice rug. I swear, you're about to be removed from the table if you don't stop. You'll be removed from the table. No, stop that. It would be a trick slash stream if my main monitor would work. I hate, oh my god, kittens. The rug really ties the room together. It does, because we didn't have a rug for the past year. Ugh. You're up here to look cute, not mess with shit. Okay, okay, now you're messing with the keyboard. Stop messing with the keyboard. Here you do. Can't you just go back to sleep, buddy? I just want you to go back to sleep. Didn't have to come in here. It'll be great. Nice and kosher. All right. Oh, see, I knew you were on a button. I knew it. Stop messing with shit. Don't mess with that. It's literally just a voice behind the wall just really yelling at a cat. Stop. And cool. I swear to God. Okay, I guess I'm just going to use the other one then, because the live scene, I know the camera works there. I don't know what I did different. Yeah. So this camera's working. That's actually what I can do. Let me take this and copy. Yeah. And then come here and I can paste. Well, reference. Yeah, I'll use it as a reference then. Yes. That's what we do. Except it didn't really want to go exactly where I wanted it to. Hoodoo, I'm telling your mother. Even though your mother's probably going to side with you because you're adorable. Don't mess with that. Sleepies. I will break you. Okay, you see, you're just trying to play, and I'm not trying to play. All right. You good? Are you solid? You done? I give you a mouse. You want a mouse? Okay. All right. I think we're ready to go. All right. I think he's going to now attack chat, probably. Nope, he's going to go back to the mouse cord. No. I will remove you from the desk. I'm trying to be nice. You stop it. I'm trying to do a show. Stop it. Okay, you're done. Bye, kitty. Okay. That's better. And I need to fix chat again chat box is kind of awkward. There. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Servers are down. Server maintenance. So we yeah. So we're waiting for servers to come back up, and probably just like yesterday morning, we're gonna do the servers are up. Must have came. I just checked. I checked 20 minutes ago, and it was down. But we can probably do this stuff later. Then it might have just crashed for me then, and that's obviously easily how it could have happened. Yeah, so we're gonna talk about the DCUO2021 Wishlist. That's what we're gonna start off with in the morning. To really just knock it out and get it recorded and get it going. Morning, Pixie. Morning, and also morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Sorry, I had to yell at the cat wherever it went, wherever he ran off to. Server's back up in 5 hours, basically. Yeah, and big shout out to the developers for having the servers down yesterday while we do our 2021 in review. So that was great. That was great yesterday. My voice sounds super hoarse. Oh, okay. So service must have came up like 10 minutes ago then, because I definitely checked and it was like it just booted me. So we're just gonna go over my list, and it's a short list, but of course I probably missed some stuff for my 2021 wish list. I didn't even look at what I had for last year, and I probably should have tried to find that paper. I don't know where it could have went. Make sure I'm actually gonna put this one in DCUO 2021 wish listy. Does not belong in that folder. It's just kind of all folders. There. The hair is in the trash. The hair is all in the trash. So I see you guys are talking about the elite version. Yeah, fun stuff, man. Yeah, fun stuff. Hopefully that gets a little nerfy. I haven't ran it yet, but I've definitely talked to some friends, and yeah, it's elite worthy for sure. It's elite worthy for sure. No, I don't donate my hair. I don't. No one needs to have that nasty stuff. Yeah, I've never actually really donated before. With Toy Pixie, that's a little weird. Well, not weird, but like, thank you, I guess. Like everybody, maybe that's what I can do for like a Patreon reward. Like if you're a Patreon supporter, everyone gets a lock of my hair. That would be apps. Well, there is that gamer girl bathwater, so T-Rex hair doesn't sound at all weird. Now I need to tell Stevie B that it's like they're wanting my hair, dude. So we'll see what 2021. I'm gonna let it grow back out, and because I want to actually monitor how long it takes for it to grow. A Trex action figure voodoo doll. What the fuck? Put it up on OnlyFro. All right. So, and of course, this is just my wish list. This isn't really probably even like a comprehensive list of what we really want to see for DCO in 2020. Most likely, like the default stuff that everybody would definitely go with would be new powers, because we're stagnant. We have all these existing powers. We've played them all. We know them all. We want something new. We want something fresh. And while that may be the case, like in my eyes, the only powers I want is my Lantern Healer set. That would be it. I want my Lantern Healer. But let me actually do this right and mark this. Okay, we're going to go into our 2021 wish list, which I'm going to repeat myself because I didn't even hit the stream marker. So, of course, by default, people want new powers. People want a graphic update. I can't really speak too much on the graphic update. And for the folks out there who looked at the EG7 investor portfolio, please understand that it doesn't mean that new graphics are guaranteed to come at the quarter 4 of 2021. New graphics are definitely something that, of course, I'm pretty sure the devs want to do, and that investor portfolio is to show or even to entice investors like what can be done. Hey, the DCUO can do a graphic update, but we need your money. We need you as an investor. You, not me, not the guy sitting next to you, not your mom. We need you. The devs are revealing stuff tomorrow. Tomorrow is the actual official birthday of the launch date of DCUO. Tomorrow on the 11th will be it. But in my eyes, like people are saying, like we saw yesterday, it's like DCUO needs to be upgraded like Spider-Man. It needs to be upgraded graphics like the new generation, the new era of gaming. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I can tell you now, like in my eyes, I've been playing MMOs since 2005, and as I've learned, the prettier the MMO, the shittier the gameplay. Okay, you try to, and that's exactly why you look at games with their cinematics, right? They look at their cinematic games. We could actually look at the DCO cinematic and like, oh my god, that looks hot, that looks cool. That's gonna be the gameplay. No, it's not. It's a cinematic for a reason. It's a fucking movie. So when you look at the graphics for it, it's just not going to work. It's the graphics overhaul that would probably be like canceling the other MMO that Dig is working on, and probably even stopping some development on DCO itself while they do a re-engine overhaul for everything. I think what Oceans, the art team, and a lot of the developers have done with this game in terms of trying to upgrade how the chromas are, how the auras work, how every little stuff here, they've done a very good job on what they're able to keep a hold of. So a graphics update would be nice, but minimally. In minimal fashion, it really could work. Would you be down for comic book cel-shaded filter for the graphics? Absolutely not. We saw that with City of Heroes, and that worked for City of Heroes because in that game, it was built around that kind of art style. But DCUO would have to overhaul its graphics to kind of fit that stuff. I think, what was it? The April Fools last year, we got those little those little pow, bang, that little trinket that we had. That was actually pretty cool. And I think that if we had that option turned on that only we could see on the player side, that other players couldn't see like that version was, I think that would be pretty funny. I will admit that it's like me fighting, I could turn on even like comic book chat bubbles above my head. I would be okay with that if I could turn it on, if I can control it, not something that would be default. The graphics for DCUO, yes, it is 10 years old. The graphics are 10 years old. The graphics are actually even longer if you include development time. But what the game has and what we are now is still pretty good. Of course, it's not great, but it is still pretty good. The graphics doth not make the game. Does not make the MMO, I should say. I mean, if you want to look at a pretty game, New World's a pretty game, and some of the gameplay was kind of crap. I will say that. Some of it was bad, even though I love that game. But you could also look at, oh my God, what was another game? Bless Unleashed. Beautiful game. Beautiful. Bless Online when it came out was a pretty game. Graphics were shit. Or not graphics, but the gameplay was shit. That's why the fucking game fails every time it launches. It just fails, and they keep trying to shove it in our face. And I'm sorry, Bandai Namco. I'm sorry. I love my anime games from you, but I'm not going to support Blessed Unleashed. I'm not. 90% of new games are trash, and they are more fun to watch than to actually play. Sometimes, yeah, I can agree to that a little bit. New powers, like I said, I want Lantern Healer powers. If that means that we have to have a new tank and a new controller power too, I guess. And yeah, it is about time. It is about time to actually see some new powers come in, so we can, have a little bit of freshness, a little more flavor of the month. The issues I will always have with it is we are balance in an MMO is always ongoing and always challenging. I don't think that we are at a point where where we have room for more powers, only because we still have balance stuff that we have to work on with some powers here. And people want to talk, and people always want, fixed PvP, which is another wish list that folks want. Fixed PvP. Well, we can't really fix PvP if we introduce a brand new power, because that's going to bring even more imbalance. And we have to, and I think the revamp definitely gave a good building block. It gave a good foundation, and we see that foundation as we continue to go on with artifacts, with the balance changes. But I don't think it gave a good place for new powers in of itself. But if a new power comes in, I'm not going to dismiss it. But if we don't get it, I'm also not going to be mad about it either. I'm at the point that I'm okay with no new powers for the time being. Serums is never going to come. They're never going to let us be drug addicts. And of course, fixed PvP. There's so many factors into how to fix PvP. The community itself can't make a conscious decision on what really can happen here. In my eyes, I really think that it's one of the big things about the fixed PvP thing is the powers or the abilities. Even as a rage person myself, you can't interrupt my combos, which makes me kind of just an onslaught of attacks. People are not going to be using precision at all in PvP. They're going to be using their powers, and they're not going to be interrupted, and it's just going to be quite the melee. I think introducing a little side skill tree for PvP, mainly only just really to enhance abilities and make some abilities PvP only. Or not abilities, but kind of like give like outrage when in PvP it is able to be countered, or it has slight damage, something. I had a thought process, but I didn't really put it on paper because I also found like the workload for it. The revamp took away a lot of that stuff. Okay, I just froze. The revamp took away a lot of that stuff. And to make the revamp where the combat system was singularly, not singularly, it was the same all around. It was just all the way around, So they wanted to make it where everything in the game was based off of the same combat system to make things easier. And I think that worked. But of course, for PvP, it changed it. It changed it, I think, even to a point that players couldn't find a way to make it work, and it made it unplayable. What do you think they meant by brand new large content update, bigger than what we've already had for launch content, new permanent zone? No, it's a brand new large content update. I don't think they meant anything. It could mean that they have a new format. I don't think it's going to be like a whole new permanent. I mean, everything's kind of permanent. We have a permanent open world with every episode, but I don't think it really meant that we're going to get a whole new structure to it. We absolutely could. The formula that started off with Amazon Fury Part 3 and that we currently have now has been amazing. And every episode needs to have open world. Between Origin Crisis and Amazon Fury Part 3, that is a wasteland of wasted opportunity, and it's a dead zone. That's our dead zone of content that players can't get past, is that monthly episode fixture. But yeah, so with PvP, I think that we could see about trying to add little asterisks to how powers work in PvP, but I think that would be disruptive to how the combat system is all the way around in the entire game. But yeah, it's basically just a PvP fix. I certainly would like to have the rock paper scissors format come back. I think that was that was probably the best way to handle PvP in that form. But that's all I really have towards that. The only PvP I've really actively ever done was World of Warcraft, and again, they have little side stuff that will enhance your abilities while in PvP, and it's pretty. Sorry for the hiccup. That was kind of weird. think I'm back. Okay. I think at least. All right. I think it's coming back. And I think I've actually just lost Facebook now. Okay. Nope, I lost Facebook. Yep, Mexico coffee on my router. Okay. So, I mean, I basically just bought a new I bought a new Ethernet card for bought an Ethernet card for my computer because I thought my Ethernet port was bad, but now I think it might be just the cable. So I gotta go downstairs and grab my IT networking bag and come up and do some networking tests later today. Fun, fucking fun. Yeah, because my computer just disconnects, and it shouldn't be disconnecting because, like I said, I have a new Ethernet card in there, and she's working. So, but I'm gonna blame Meps. It was absolutely Meps' fault. So okay, so let's go into this list here. Hopefully, it's actually still working. So the first thing I have is League Hall update. A League Hall update. League Halls need all the love. It's probably one of the longest running systems, along with longest running systems that actually hasn't been touched. Base items, the base layers have at least been touched. I mean, we saw in 2020 that the base items max went up to 600. So that's at least something. But League Halls haven't really been touched. League Halls have nothing. They have nothing. The new statues for the bosses, I think is a great thing, and I think it's definitely there used more for the individual, for the base itself, for your lair, but not really for the League Hall. But yeah, League Halls are. I mean, yeah, Abbott, to me, you're right. League Halls are really just there for only doing your buffs. That's it. They're only there for your buffs. And the game itself even doesn't. One of my biggest issues with the game too is League Halls. Anyone can make a league. Anyone who is a member can make a league. Let me separate that. Anyone who is a member can make a league. So you can make a league of one, and you're by yourself, and that's it. And I think because you can create a league all willy-nilly as long as you're a member, it really hurts because you have all these league names out there that probably people aren't using anymore because of course people left. We have leagues all over the place, and they're only really there for one person and one person only, and their alts. And that really isn't what leagues are supposed to be. Leagues are supposed to bring people together, bring players together, but this game really treats itself more into the solo aspect, and a lot of folks just skip the on-duty content. I actually know a few folks. They're just like, nope, I just do open world, and I don't do the on-duty. I do solos, maybe do duos, but I don't worry about alerts or raids. And League Halls, I feel, when it comes to leagues, like I feel like a person should be able to create it, but you need other people as well to do it. Like I'm going with my mindset for World of Warcraft, and yeah, World of Warcraft, people do single player leagues, guilds over there as well. Like people always chime in trade chats like, hey, I need 4 signatures willing to pay gold, and then you can leave. And then people just leave, and then that's it. Hell, even my league technically is like more single player than anything, which we're always welcoming new players to try and help out and such. But League Halls themselves, I think because the game or even the community doesn't utilize the league system, they use probably more of their friends list, if anything. No one really utilizes the league system a lot in the game, and I'm also generalizing because it probably could be different. They don't see a point to up the league halls, but I feel like there should be development time to update league halls. With leagues, we should be able to have those boss statues. Those boss statues should be a league form. If we're in an eight person raid, hey Kitty, if we're in an 8-person raid, we should be able to, if that group has, let's say, five or more players are in the same league and they defeat a boss, they're going to get that trophy and they're going to put that trophy in the league hall. All right, they're going to show off that boss, that they killed that boss in your league hall as a league. We definitely need to see more of the buffs. League halls really at this point should probably be their own hub. They should absolutely be their own hub. We have a shared bank for the league. We should probably have personal banks in there too. We should have the broker in that league hall. If anything, let's make a league broker where folks can put their own items on that broker and update it. I've already been starting good, dear. I've already been going. But yeah, I'll get the dryer going when I'm done with this. But we should definitely see more of a hub for our leagues in our league hall, where we can basically just go there and, yeah, hanging out in the watchtower is great and all, but it's also like number one place that even I see lag. Thanks, Hoodoo. And Hoodoo, if you go back to attacking my mouse cords, Hoodoo, don't do it. But I'm talking. So we should definitely see the league halls be utilized more in that form. Yeah, I mean, Ubster is right. I mean, new league hall themes based on old to new DLCs. We need new locations for our league halls, and I would certainly like to see that. You know, different art style, different themes. We need league hall themes sold on the marketplace. Sold on the marketplace. Sell it to us. We want items on the marketplace. I gotta go over that later. Give it to us. That's what we want. We could also look at doing. Excuse me. There you go. Might have been the cat. The cat always fucks around. I gotta pet one of the cats. I haven't seen her all morning. Who you just kept waking me up this morning. I would refuse to wake up. A league hall time capsule. God. But yeah, we need to see. I want to see league halls utilized more. I think if we try and increase how the utilization of a league hall goes, hopefully we see more players try and join a league hall. We actually try to have folks actually be more communicative and want to join other leagues. But I mean, that's also in the mindset more on the community. All the developers can try and do is like, if we build it, they will come. Well, you built it. We did come, but now we're kind of just like not going to it anymore. So I think we should probably try and do some kind of small update to push people to actually do it. I think that the proficiency buffs probably need to be retuned or reworked somehow, because hell, I really don't see the use. I honestly don't. At this point in our game, I don't think we see the point of it. Sorry, cat's falling in my hands because I'm a hand talker. Okay, he doesn't care. Let me get a drink. That's my water, not your water. That's my water. All right, so next is, and we talked about it yesterday, sidekick. Sidekick love. We need sidekick love. What I'm even looking for sidekicks is don't drink my water. You have your own. Oh, I don't drink it. That's from my mouth, not yours. I don't need kitty lips on my drink. So psychic customization. First off, I want to see psychic customization to the point of it would be cool that we have our psychic, and then we can put materials on it. Oh my God! Get your head out of my water. All right, you're off the table. He put his whole head just in my cup. I'm like, no. So, yeah, I want to see like our sidekicks. We can have a new style menu. We can have a new style menus, and we can put our materials. We can put different styles on it. I know it's definitely a heavy resource to even do that for, but we can customize our own guy. If we can't customize, I want to say that we should have new defaults. We have new henchmen coming all the way around, all new backup trinkets, 100% coming through. I think we should definitely have that same format. All right? So I would definitely like to have an Amazonian soldier as my sidekick. Warrior golem. Like we are doing all this stuff for the backup trinkets. Why are we doing this for the sidekicks? That's actually like if I could interview one of the developers, Panduras, Jack Emmerich, Maps, like I was like, why can't we do sidekick customization? I'm asking the heavy questions. Why can't we have that? Why? I'll do like a Larry King. It's like, I want to do what? Why can't we have sidekick customizations? Why can't we just have new defaults? Vegemite, good to see you, brother. And Afro is gone. 2021, new year, new hair. The other thing is sidekick balance. The shield that the sidekick provides, it's paper. It's an absolute paperweight. Sidekick is really supposed to be there for, I feel, for support roles to have that help. Sidekicks give you a shield for protection, tanks. It heals you. Well, anyone can use that. And then it also gives you power. Literally everyone can use that too. Sidekicks are an amazing tool to use for support roles, but they're not used because their functionality is paperweight. It is paper light. I definitely feel like they should scale as well, yeah. So a sidekick balance pass really needs to be looked at as well. So, I mean, I want my sidekicks to work. I would love for them to work. Yeah, YouTube. Yeah, I think when I disconnected, when my internet disconnected, it fudged up, and now the multi-stream kind of disconnected that in Facebook, which even Facebook is fucking not live anymore. So I would have to end the stream and get that going again. But yeah, let me actually move this closer so I can properly see my YouTube chat. Could do Diablo styles, have them level up stats. Yeah, perfect. That's true. Ilmatic. It could be done. There's a Bat Commando Psychic Trinket. Exactly, Sauce. Exactly. So it will increase. Let's see, from James. It'll increase the number of our assets on the screen and probably go over the memory budget for graphics. It probably, and that's probably why. That's absolutely probably why. But I also don't agree with that statement either. For the customization of the sidekick, sure, but having a new default sidekick, if we can have new backup henchman trinkets all the time, that's three assets that we're having to show of character designs on there. I definitely think that we can have just that base default for one instead of even having a three. But I also think that we haven't done that because it needs a balance pass. We absolutely need a balance pass. Psychic character design would be nice. If they can modify pets, they can do sidekicks. Yeah, very true. I see you, GeoForce, over on YouTube. I see you. PS5 could handle it. They need to get rid of PS4. I think a PS5 next-gen update may happen in 2021, and I'll even put that on my wish list too. Sorry, my mic is getting super hot because of my heater next to me. Poor buddy. I gotta pet my cat. Nope, we're not getting rid of the Switch. The Switch stays. The Switch is more powerful than the PS4. But I mean, we might get that Switch Pro. So we might get that Switch Pro. She's licking me, so I'm gonna let her do it. Get rid of PC. Oh yeah, kill us, right? I mean, might as well. I mean, it's just a port, basically. Imagine playing as Hawk and summoning Dove as a sidekick. Oh my gosh, D. But yeah, so that's my whole spiel on sidekicks. We need customization, or we need new different skins of sidekicks, similar to how the backup trinkets are, and we also need a sidekick balance for that as well. Next is Gen PC holding the game back for real, for real. No, it will 100% always be console holding the game back. It will always be console. Console has limitations. Consoles have PS5 and Xbox Series X are amazing consoles. They're great. No, even those new consoles are holding the game back. Now it will always be consoles holding it back, and that's not even like to dismiss consoles either as well. They're only holding it back in the sense that they only have a certain sorry, my brain. They only have certain specs that they can only utilize. Okay, I got you, buddy. It's okay. I'm looking at YouTube, sorry. Xbox One and Switch are the holdbackers. Switch can't, since they're by themselves. Technically, Xbox too. I mean, yeah. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is we're going over to the base. We're going to the base now. Looking at the generator update. The generator needs to be updated. In my eyes, the generator needs to be updated for the pure fact that the generator mods, we need them split. I think we have a lot of generator mods, specifically each one. For folks out there who want to play Might, we have to put the Might mods in there. I'm like, okay, we put Might mods in there. Cool deal. But if you want to switch your spec and go Precision, or even just for one build, go Precision to maximize it, you have to go in and replace all your Mights with Precisions. And if you want to go back to Might, I don't have Might mods. I have to go and farm those again, or buy them again, in order to do it. That is a huge, cumbersome system. I do think that we should have each stat and have their mods placed in each of those. For the generator mods, I think we do. Oh, thank you, Leon. Good morning, buddy. I think we could also just start looking at the augment system. We can look at the augment system. The augment system changed the modding system for our characters, and I think it changed it for the fucking better. Like, it looks beautiful. I love the augment system. The adaptives, I have my issues with, but just the process of how they utilize, it's pretty good. But then we go back to the generator mods, and the generator mods are they're archaic. They are the old school style, and we need to update that into, if anything, the same format of the augment system. We put the generator augments, if we want to call it that. We level them up with our exobytes, and we level them up as we level up as well. They can have a different max than ours because they don't need to be completely powerful. But it definitely has to be per stat. It doesn't need to be per category. It needs to be per stat. Along that same format, elite mods need to be changed. The elite mods need to be balanced. They need to be increased a bit more. Let's see. The armory system for the generator could be a simple fix or make adaptive mods. The armory system, that's a good point too. The armory system could tie into the generator mods, so the generator mods change too. You're right, Therm. You're right. Go over here to YouTube. Have augment system for gen mods. Yeah, exactly. GeForce, exactly. But I mean, and like Therm said, the armory system tying in, changing generator mods, that could work as well. I think that's a good thing too. but it really needs to tie into we need to have every single stat. We need elite mods to be updated or even changed. For me, getting the elite gear is the purpose of using elite mods. You want those elite mods, so you have to get the elite gear. Well, the elite mods are terrible. So the only people really getting the elite gear is just to say, oh, I got the elite gear, I finished that feat. I'm also showing that I'm badass. I got the cool style with it as well. The elite mods are kind of holding it back where no one really wants to chase elite stuff because those mods are terrible. If anything, maybe we should just get rid of elite mods altogether. You know, we probably don't even need those mods anymore because we have artifacts to do that now. Coming here from Therm, it would make the gen mods more effective and noticeable. Would be making mods percentile instead of hard numbers. Agreed, because even the elite mods too, like, there are different sections. So there's like type A, type B, and type C, and I think even a D. And like type A's are like actual buffs, and then the rest of them are all kind of just enhancements to your playstyle. It's okay. They're playing. Thank God. I was like, what the fuck is going back here? You're just gonna see cats just flying around behind me now. That's just how they're gonna go. Let's see, mods and augments should be dual role. Well, the augments are dual role. You can definitely switch back and forth with your augments because the augments are tied to the armory system. Gen mods need to be in that same format. They absolutely should. Personally, I want the interface to be customizable more, like moving and resizing, hiding names. I can't even see the target under all the text. The UI, that's always that's down there as well. It's in the wish list. It always is. So that's my generator mod. Generator needs to be updated to fit how everything else works. We have everything for augment when they're doing basically even the base orientation. The base orientation needs to include how to use your generator mods. And well, it does, but it's using it in the archaic sense. It needs to be updated to fit the rest of the systems. And by the way, I don't know coding a lot, but I do have a lot of free time because my mind wanders. I can work on stuff, Debs. I'm just saying, I can do stuff. Click, click, click. Like the elite weapons, give them embedded elite bonuses. Yeah, I mean, yeah. If you, that's another thing too, D. We could definitely get rid of the elite mods altogether and just make the elite gear have some buffs to them as well. The elite weapon is actually what I always go with. That's like the first thing I get is that elite weapon for that buff. If the elite gear have buffs with them as well, aka set gear bonuses, then I think elite gear would be pushed out to be to get faster track to get in there. And even tier set bonuses falls in line with how adaptives are as well. I mean, the adaptive augments are in that same format where you have to level them up and get rank in order to get that buff. The elite gear doesn't need to get leveled. It's just going to have a certain buff when you get sets of 2, 4, 6, and 8. Each one's going to have a different buff. Now, when you do those kinds of buffs, it brings a whole new caveat of balance passing to make sure that gear is not going to break anything. But you never know. It's also gear that's also, let's just say, limited. Because that gear is only going to last you for the rest of the episode. And people who have elite gear are most likely people who actually blow through replay badges in the first 2 weeks of the episode to get that elite gear, and then the rest of the episode is just cakewalk, or they work on alts. I'm not really sure if there's players out there who actually spend the time not using replay badges to get that gear, and by the time the episode's over with, they finally got their elite gear, and then, oh, here's the new episode. All the other gear might be getting replaced. It's like, oh, yay. Woo. Now, I also haven't done the math to see how long it takes a person to get the elite gear. I need to get back into doing that. But if it's too long I mean, or even if it's half the length of the episode's lifespan, then that might be a cool thing. But if it needs to be quicker, it might need to be quicker. I used to be one that built up my gear naturally. It was slow, but at least I was prepared for the next episode. Agreed. I mean, that is true as well, because you get your CR up and you also got your stats where, especially the elite stats, so it's not like you're being cumbersome going into the next episode. And hopefully it should always be replacing elite gear. Well, you're still placing your elite gear with some of the blues and the purples to get ready for the new stuff. I mean, I probably need to throw it in there as well. Yeah, I am going to throw it in there. Progression. The progression in this game is shit. I'm sorry to say. It's just shit. I hate it. When I look at progression, I look at when we jump into a brand new episode, we have to do solo, duo, alert, open world stuff. We need to build up to get to the raid. But there are players who, and again, respect to that, they don't want to do any of that solo stuff. They don't want to do the lower. They want to jump in and do straight into the raid. That's where they want to go. They want to go straight to the raid, and they go. And that's how the game is designed right now. But with that, that breaks progression. That's why we have you're replacing your elite gear with freaking blues and purples in the next episode instead of it just being straight out elite gear. It's really just sometimes, for me, it really is just terrible because I want to be strong enough where I can go into the new raid and not be a burden, where I can actually survive. And raids should require actual gameplay in that content, right? It should actually take some time. And sometimes, and I look at that more as the elite raid. All right, I look at that more as the elite raid needs to actually have some stuff. Normal raid, the event, and the normal, we should be able to do that with, honestly, probably just walking through, have a little difficulty until we get episode-specific gear from that episode. But when it comes to elite, you definitely shouldn't be able to just walk right into the elite and be able to beat it even on day one. Elite shouldn't be able to be beaten on day one with past episode gear. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Come over here to hear. Let's see. How about an artifact weapon with mod slots for your weapon slot? Would be dope to customize weapon through multiple episodes. I mean, keeping a weapon through multiple episodes does sound actually pretty neat. That actually does. Since we now have more than 8 elite pieces, update elite mods to type E, F, G, and A. Oh shit, that's a lot. Good morning, No Name. Good morning, man. Or good afternoon to you, because now I know that you're hours ahead in the afternoon. Let's see. GeoForce on YouTube have mid-range CR requirement for new episode raids where you need certain mix of green, blue, and purple plus 1 normal vendor gear to do the raids. I mean, agreed. And of course, the way I'm saying this, it definitely says gating. It definitely is gating. But a raid should be gated. The raid should be gated completely until you're gear ready to actually do that stuff. And especially elite in my eyes. Like, I have a whole thing I want to do for elite. I want elite plus. I want the mythic system from World of Warcraft in my elite. I want event, normal, elite plus, and then just fucking go after it. Go after it. I mean, make it survival mode, but for the elite content in my eyes. Let's see here from Cloud on Twitch. I feel like elite gears should be more focused, i.e. more for DPS have the option for high might and low precision or vice versa, and come with some form of damage reduction buff for X amount of set pieces you have. The might and precision thing, we actually had that at launch. We had gear that was for the tank, for might based, for precision based, and that was it. Like, you actually had 3 sets of gear instead of 2. I think it's because how they have gear now with might and precision, it's close enough balance where they should be able to do somewhat do the same there. But I mean, having more precision specific gear, I'm not against it. I'm absolutely not. I think that would be a good thing. It would also help if we had that kind of thing tied to the play styles. Something that we could, if you're like, again, if you're super powered focused, your gear has more might. All right? Or if anything, your precision stat is gone. You can't use your precision stat if you're super powered. If you're hybrid, you have both might and precision stat on your gear. If you're weapon master, you lose the might. You just lose the might stat and you only have precision. So utilizing how our specs wide, because if you're hybrid, you get to use both. If you're super powered, you're using only might. If you're weapon master, you're using only precision. And what really bothers me, really, because I'm one of those purists. If I'm weapon master, I'm only using my weapon, and the rest of my abilities are utility. They're buffs. They're helping me to survive. I'm only there to really do my weapon. But people treat weapon mastery as hybrid, and it just fucking annoys me to god awful ends. Ugh. That's my issue there. Let's see, Ilmatic, I agree with gaining raids should be based off of gear or something. Elite raids should have full normal vendor gear to even be able to get inside Elite raid for each new episode. Fucking agreed. Agreed, Geo. Agreed. Like that will be ready for the Elite raid by using the new gear instead of the old gear. Agreed. Absolutely agreed. And again, I know I'm gating the raids, and I'm also gating gating how even players do it now. And players how do it now, they just do it. I mean, the developer's okay with it. The developers will make the game based off of the community, and what we saw even during the revamp, because the developers first had raids have to be the 2x4 format. The community fucking outrageously disagreed. They absolutely disagreed, and are like, okay, fine. We'll set the raids to the 3x5 format, but if you have an issue, then the 2x4 is always there. How many fucking groups do everyone knows goes like, oh, we keep wiping on this group. Let's go down and get the 2x4. Let's add in a second this, second that. No, they fucking replace the weakest link or who they think is the weakest link. They kick them and find someone else who can do it better. And that's where we have a community issue. That's where we have players fucking leaving. And it's not a developer, it's a fucking community. But I'm also going to blame the developers a little bit too. The developers need to actually state how the raids need to be. If they want to be the 3x5, then let them be the 3x5. And they need to be based off of it. Don't let us use this 2x4 format. Or if it needs to be 2x4, then the developers need to create the content that requires 2 tanks or even 2 controllers. And they need to set the standard. The community created the 3x5. We created it because we wanted to challenge ourselves. And we challenged ourselves in the FOS days. That's where that format came from. We challenged ourselves. And then, of course, we had enrage timers, so that really increased it as well. And then we just decided, like, you know what? If you can solo tank this, you can solo tank everything else. And whoosh, it all goes. And that's where we are now like 9 years later. So it really had bad memories. So the developers really need to help us with this progression. I do feel that, yes, you need to put time into this episode. But putting that time in the episode, we have to have in the back of our minds, what's now going to be the length of that episode? How long would that need to be? I cold-heartedly think that we should be able to work on our gear for 2 weeks. Game launches, new episode launches, we have the episode, and there's only the raid. That's all we have is the raid. The Elite raid will not come up until 2 weeks after. Yeah, that's right. I'm using the World of Warcraft format for the Mythic World races and all that. We do the raid. We have the Elite raid in 2 weeks. That's 2 weeks to prepare to get geared up. Now, 2 weeks isn't enough time to really get geared up, in a sense. I mean, we could definitely, if you even want to do that math with our current episode, how long 2 weeks of content without replay badges, how many currency is that? Would that even be enough to get full vendor gear in 2 weeks? Because again, that right there, replay badges hurt us in that form. Because if I could just rerun the alert over and over and over again in order to get my currency, I fucking will. The raid, I'm perfectly fine with 1 week. Raids are 1 week. They should be that. So progression needs to be looked at, and I want that better for 2021. I am not at all dissing the past episodes. I am not. The episodes have been really great, really fun. I just look at it, it's a broken method of progression to show where it really needs to happen. So I'm perfectly okay with how things are, but I want things to be better, and I want it to be more, basically more traditional, I guess is the term. A more traditional format. See, on the other hand, they will try to push you on currency to encourage people to buy and use replay badges. That is the downside term, and you're absolutely right. That is the downside. Let's see. Come over here to YouTube. I'm so happy you guys are all communicating. That's all fucking great, guys. Thanks. Mod slots for loadout spells. I've always felt like it is what artifact should have been rather than customize and expand my loadout. I think they should allow every artifact you have to be shared across all your tunes. If the leveling process was easier, then I would agree. But it's, and actually we're about to get onto that right now. So let me get my drink. It's a good water. I'm drinking water. I don't have any caffeine. I don't have any soda. So this is all I got. Let's talk about artifacts. Huh? Let's talk about artifacts. Now, every single thread, I go into a rant about artifacts. Every single rant. It doesn't fucking escape me. It doesn't. I could create an entire video and, no name. Well, you know what? I asked Batuba to make artifacts account bound to be friendly with alt tunes, but still waiting on an answer. Pretty sure it'll never come. Yeah. Some artifacts should have been elite generator mods. True. True, Cloud. Very true. All right. Let's get comfortable. So, artifacts. I love artifacts. I do. I love the different playstyles they bring. I like using them. I really do. And yes, and I agree, Cloud. Some of the artifacts definitely should have been some maybe elite mods. Definitely. Some of that play style should have probably be inherent with the game. Maybe they should have been already tied to powers, tied to rolls already, instead of it being like this secondary item we have to use or level. But the only issue that I have with artifacts is leveling. That is the only issue. I'm okay with new artifacts coming in every month. It's the leveling I hate. It's the leveling I hate that when you add those leveling items to the marketplace, these are the only items I will ever consider pay to win. Or even pay to win-ish. Yes, you can level these artifacts in-game. To a point. The artifact breakthrough system is terrible. The artifact breakthrough needs to be removed. The leveling needs to be removed from the marketplace. It needs to be in-game, and it needs to be, that experience needs to be lowered. The Nth Metal experience items themselves. Oh look, I got a Nth Metal. It's 20 XP. It needs to be removed. Nothing below 100 needs to be removed. Needs to be removed. Everything below 100. 100 needs to be the standard. We need bosses. Every single boss and by the way, and I'm even going to show this because I always go back to it because I always have to. You can level the artifacts. It takes an age and a half, but it can be done. Just spend cash on the marketplace. Yeah, it's terrible. Oop, that is not what I want to open. Fuck that email. So, I really should just have like a quick link for it. Because it has been a while since we've actually did that. We talked about that article. Now I gotta find it. But there's we wrote an article on the source wall that basically gave like our op-ed, our thought process of how we can make artifacts better, especially the leveling experience itself. My God, when did I write that article, D? Holy crap. I'm all the way in September. When did I write it? Okay, so I definitely need a search box. I'll work on that. Duly noted. Duly noted. My God, I guess it was in the summer then. Jesus. That's artifacts. Yes, improvement for artifacts. Yeah, it's a work. Yeah, a lot of the sites are work in progress. I could have just Googled it. You're right. I mean, we have a whole entire artifact that we could definitely share with everybody. That, yeah, the source wall is still being updated. Oh yeah, we update articles all the time. We're gonna. I want to do stuff for 2021 for the source wall, but I'll need help with it. But we have this artifact. Like, the first thing I really want to do is solos. Every boss gets 200 in this mel. Alerts. Every boss gets 500 in this mel. Raids. Every boss gets 1,000 ninth mel. Like, bosses need to give us ninth mel every time. We have that random stuff, but the random stuff is great, but there are drops in buckets when you have experience that requires 100,000. Like, all right, 100,000 XP needed to get to the next rank. What do I just got from this boss drop? 50. Okay. That's 900. That's a lot. So, I'm terrible with math. But the artifact level experience needs to be better. Breakthroughs need to be gone. All right? Requiring the catalyst, fine. Require the catalyst, put that gate up there, done. But do not have it where there's a point of failure. The point of failure is where players get hurt. That is a mindset on the players that they get discouraged, that they don't want to do the system anymore. That's why I tell everybody, and all you people here watching, all 10 of you, and then the 30 some odd bots, everybody watching, just do 120. Stop at rank 120. Anything above rank 120, you gotta spend money. Because anything above rank 120 requires a seal of completion, or it will require a seal of preservation, which, by the way, do not fucking buy seal of preservations. Just do not buy. Preservations are so fucking wasteful. Just buy the seal of completion and call it a day. Don't waste your money. Just anything above it will require it. Anything above it's you're gonna have to buy Nymph Metal. You're gonna have to buy the Nymph Metal because it's such a large pool of XP needed. We don't buy her cape. We want the Nymph Metal, or we want the artifacts we want to use them now. And I'm okay with leveling them to 80 to get that first buff. And then it might take another month to get up to the next one. It's going to take about maybe a month or two to get to 120 naturally. So 2 months to get to 120, I'm okay with that. But then how long does it take to get to rank 140 or even 160 really, because that's where the next buff is. And then you have to look at rank 200. Fudge. Like that is, and at the same time, there's no content in this game that requires a rank 200 artifact. There is absolutely nothing that we need that. Who do you stop messing with mom's chair? XP from enemies in an RPG? Who would do that? We got something here, Trex. Nithmel needs to be revamped into post-level 30 leveling XP system. Agreed. Absolutely agreed. Preservation should be random drops like per monster, makes them farmable and not too common, make things grind. We kill a lot anyways. We absolutely do. Let's see, Therm. I agree that that feeling bosses from duos raising layers should give healthy chunks of Nymphmel or just have an artifact absorb passively. Yeah. Well, I mean, I remember there's more suggestions. We already did that. Like, we actually changed the percentages on how the breakthrough. All right, the breakthrough, if it's gonna stay, it should definitely be changed. We should do a rank 40 should be, I guess, is 100. I don't really remember why we actually did that. Did we have to do rank 140? I think rank 80 was the first one. Either way, I mean, so the ranks get changed where instead of it being a 2% success on rank 200, that's like an entire middle finger to us. That is an entire middle finger. Rank 200 should be 20%. It should absolutely be 20%. That is astronomically horrible. Seals of Preservations should be sold by John Constantine. Actually, this whole thing is good. We're just going to go by this thing. We're going to do a nice little snippet. John Constantine should sell Seals of Preservations. You think it's both middle fingers? I think so too. Maybe a third if they can use their toes. Seal of Preservation sold by John Constantine. Sure, we need the source marks dump. Make that the source marks dump. Put the source mark, put it on it, and we'll buy it. Seals of Completion, in my opinion, they can stay on the marketplace. They absolutely can. If I can always buy more Seals of Preservations by playing the game, then I fucking will. Seals of Completions can be the pay-to-win article, can be the pay-to-win item I can absolutely disagree with, and I'll just keep it there and never have to worry about it ever again. I also believe catalysts are sold in packs on the marketplace. I think we should sell them for packs on the vendors as well, but that's just me. Catalysts themselves need to be changed. With the breakthrough percentages means that the source mark or the catalyst requirements need to be lowered as well. And with the catalyst being lowered, that means the source marks requirement or the cost gets lowered as well. Now, rank 40 requires 2 and 2. That's 34. I think we even... why did they put this ad there? I need to remove that. That's terrible. They didn't need to split that, assholes. That's probably towards me. And with how the math worked out, it's an overall decrease in cost by 18 source marks, with the current system being costing $13.82. 18 source marks is not a lot. It's not a lot, but it's at least something. It is something. And even the increase that we even saw, it was still a little bit. It was still a little bit. The alts, yeah, we all know about the alts, right? So Miss Megan Martian, she gave the idea. This was her suggestion. If a player gets an artifact to rank 200, tie it to a feat, and the leveling of that artifact halves the XP requirement to level it for other alts that buy the feat with replay badges. I like that idea. I absolutely like that idea. It requires the main character to get that artifact, to truly work on it, and to get it to rank 200 if the leveling process was easier. Get it to rank 200, and now you have a feat that you got 200. Go to your other alts, buy that feat with the replay badge, and now your leveling of the artifact is much easier on your alt to get it where it needs to be. I love that item. I love it. It's there's artifact. We also had an idea for an artifact feat discount. So when you get a feat getting that artifact to rank 40, and these can also be zero points as well, 0 point feats. So like the rank 200 would definitely be a 50 point. That would absolutely be a 50 point. But then we offer that 50% discount to all the other ranks as well. So this was actually what it would look like. Usually it would take 40,000 to get to rank 80. 40,000. Fuck that. 20K. A 20K just gets you to rank 80 immediately. These are numbers I can live with, especially for my alts that we just don't have honestly time for, especially with the amount of artifacts that we have. We want them all. The developers gave us this whole thing where You don't need to have every artifact. All right, you don't really need to have every one. No, they lie. We do need to have it. We as a community, we want all of it. We want every single one because we want to try the different play styles that the developers have given us. Like they used to before with the Seal Preservations, but Daybreak got too greedy and stopped it. And their missions used to give them to you too. Yeah, I remember there was one that we did get like Seal Preservations from them. I know you get one for your first one from the Artifact mission. Their first Artifact mission gives you a Seal of Preservation, and then of course you can hold on to it just in case. So you do get one for your Artifact mission for your new characters, but after that, there's none. Absolutely none. It's terrible. Of course, bear storage. We definitely need to have a tab for artifacts. We need to have it off of our inventory. We need to have like a tab that we can always just come back to, just to say, let me just pull this from my artifact tab and move it into my equipment. But and one of the big reasons I would like to have that as a storage too is because this whole TAC swap system for artifacts, I don't agree with that in any shape, way, or form. I find that to be an exploit. I find it to be a huge bug, and that should not be a thing that you should be able to do with your artifacts. You have 3, you should be able to use 3 that's equipped. You shouldn't be able to have the option to swap it back and forth in that first slot really quickly. That's a bug, that's an exploit in my eyes, and should need to be fixed immediately. The developers haven't said anything about it. They need to hurry up and say something about it. If they want to use it that way, then fucking put a goddamn 4th slot in there. But if they only want fixed to use 3 slots, then they need to come up with a way for us to only use 3 slots. I had suggested 20, 40, 60, and rank 80 would be free breakthroughs, 100% guarantee. Oh, oh my God, did we go through 40? Well, that's the other thing too, is like we smush it. We get rid of all the only breakthroughs that we have to do would be, because these are, the rank 40 is your introduction. That's your introduction to the breakthrough system. But rank 80, 120, 160, and 200, those are where the buffs are. Those should be the only ones that have the actual breakthrough chances. I shouldn't have to worry about breakthrough to want to rank 140 or breakthrough to 100. Those breakthroughs to 100 in those middle grounds, that's really just to kind of waste stuff. We shouldn't have to have any of that stuff there. That's terrible. Cloud, thank you so much for the follow, brother. Welcome to the crash. But yeah, the rank 100 needs to go away. The only breakthrough that we ever have to do for Catalyst would only be for the ranks that give us the buffs. That's the only thing. Like the middle ground stuff needs to go away. The rank 40 would be the introduction to how to do a breakthrough to prepare them for rank 80. And then that's where we start doing breakthrough. The breakthrough stuff is every buff. Coming here from Ilmatic, you know what really makes me angry? When my inventory gets messed up and stuff moved around to the top after an update. Stop. Oh. Let's see. And, suggested to Maps and Chiron, whether devs don't remember the name. Might have been Jack. Yeah. So, these are just ideas that we as a community for the source wall came up with. We worked at it like for a long time as well. We gave different options with even with the catalyst. We talked about having catalyst requirements. Option 1 is having it, and option 2 is having catalyst prices on Constantine vendor. So you would still need to have the same number of catalysts, but the price for them would go down for alts. And we wanted to make sure that the artifacts were usable for alts, because if our main character can reach that at 200, and if the leveling for it was easier, we can get to rank 200, get the feat, and that would give us more time on our alts, and we would feel more accomplished with leveling of these artifacts. Like, this is a system that we want to have for a lot of reasons. The artifacts are an amazing tool, but Bday and the team did a fantastic job with them. They come up with amazing ideas for it. But I hate that one or even two systems part of it make it such a hindrance that I don't ever want to touch it. I get my artifacts to rank 80, and I feel that if I don't have my artifact at rank 200 for the other buffs, then I feel like the Batuba and the team wasted their time making those buffs. If we can get the rank 200 easier and better for us as players, then the developers might as well just cancel artifacts and move those buffs to powers. Move them to abilities. Move them to our loadout slots. Something. Can I help you, Hoodoo? Come here. Come here, bud. It's okay. The issue is those one or two issues tend to be the main focus for the systems. Too core to the system to rework or repair. Agreed. I felt that way as well. I think that they really can't get rid of the leveling, the experience needed, and the breakthroughs, because at the end of the day, that's a moneymaker. They put those gates there. They make that journey so long that it's so cumbersome that players mentally only have to feel like, you know what, I might as well just spend some money. I might as well just drop this money. And it's immediate buyer's remorse before and after. And players shouldn't have to feel that way. Players feel that way enough already with time capsules and booster bundles that it's, like, even for me personally, like, if I'm interested in a time capsule, I'll work towards it. But at this point, I just have the mindset that, fuck it, I don't want to deal with it. I'll wait for a year or two to show up on Booster Gold, and I'll buy it there. So much old stuff. It logged. I logged. It was all over the place. Yeah, that the log out thing for the inventory is definitely a bug. Developers really need to work on that. But yeah. So again, the artifact system. We have this article. I need to redo those. Really need to redo those templates for the ads. Sorry about that. Gotta make money somehow. Not by gambling. Not by gambling. Just the ads help support us on the source wall. So, because if I actually have a little bit of a revenue stream, then I can try and actually, like, maybe spend that money and pay some of the people who are actually helping out with the site. And just, it's not, the source wall money doesn't really go to me. It goes back to the source wall to pay for server costs and hopefully get more volunteers and more people to actually help out with the site. And yeah, not by gambling. Not by gambling. But yes, I mean, you can find it over on the source wall. We need to create a link for it here. No, you don't need to come on my desk, sir. You don't need to come on my desk. Next item is more items on the marketplace, right? More items on the marketplace. It's simple as that. We have time capsules. We have the materials. We have the auras from it. They just need to be on the marketplace, to be honest. I'm pretty sure putting those items on the marketplace would be expensive. I mean, we get the Royal Mega Pack for basically $25. That's 7 types of chromas. It's 21 actual materials that we got. Where do you want to go, Hoodoo? Come here. It's okay. It's okay. Nope, you're right here. You're on Dad's lap. Nope, you're not coming up there. But the items on the time capsules should probably just be in the marketplace. But again, the big problem would certainly be the price. I don't see anything really going above 2,500 Daybreak Cash, but it absolutely can. I can absolutely see the new Raven outfit from the Teen Titans time capsule. It's on that style is on the marketplace for $40. For $40, and it's account bound. You know, it's going to be $40 account, but it will be account bound. God forbid if they make it character. They won't. They better not make anything character bound. That whole character bound thing is kind of obnoxious sometimes. Yes, show me my minions. Exactly, basic. um, but I mean, and that's exactly what kind of really needs to happen. Is we need items on the marketplace. The marketplace right now, the biggest things are sold are replay badges, artifact stuff, and augments. The style system, if once you have all the styles, why do you even have a sale for it? For newer players, sure, but we need more. It needs to be updated frequently. One of the big ideas I had for the marketplace was quirks. We all know quirks, right? Quirks are good. Yes, DCO is definitely worth coming back to. It definitely is 6. It is. The anniversary event's going on right now. They added new bosses, a new raid to it. It is pretty good, and story wise is actually pretty. The new episodes are pretty worth it as well. But I would definitely always say DCO is worth coming back to. And yeah, DCUO, we do need more DCUO websites. It's 10 years later. There's myself, there's the Gotham Gazette, and that's probably the only real 2 DCUO community websites. You know, that's really probably the only ones there. The API does need to be, I want it opened up so bad. I really want it opened up so bad. So I want to utilize quirks. Quirks need to be that bridge of in-game currency. Quirks need to be, or in-game, not in-game currency. Currently, quirks are only used for purchasing the old time capsule stuff from Booster Gold, or even on some of the new stuff on the Space and Time vendor. Space and Time vendor hasn't also been updated either. I feel like they just completely ignore the Space and Time vendor and not updating that with anything at all. That needs to change. But with quirks, the only way you can get quirks is 2 ways. One is by opening time capsules. Opening time capsules, you'll be able to get quirks probably a little bit more abundant way, you know? 6, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the crash. But with you get quirks from time capsules by opening them. You get them by default for opening them, and you also get them as a choice as a reward if you want to. Not many people actually do that choice by default. The second way is to convert source marks into quirks. What is it? 100 source marks is 25 quirks, I think is what the ratio is. If someone can remind me, that'll be great, because I don't use that system, because, yeah. So, let's talk about the issues regarding that. Let's talk the ratio of source marks to quirks. As 100 source marks is 25 quirks, right, D? Okay, thanks, no name, thanks. So let's talk about the issues there. One, time capsules. No one really wants to open time capsules. You have 2 ways to open time capsules. One is to buy the keys straight from the marketplace, or you can run your stabilizer event and continue to get those every couple of days. Every 3 to 5 days, you get your key depending on your membership level. So you can't open time capsules without spending money. You're just going to open them at a slower rate than other people who just drop and open their wallet. So with that, you open up your time capsule, you get your quirks, and you're cool. And so you can also spin your source marks and get quirks as well. But the problem with that one is source marks are limited. We're limited on how many we can get because of content relevancy. And the content relevancy is getting smaller, apparently, by the fucking day with every episode. So you can only really get source marks, I think, from this episode and Wonderverse. You can't even get it from Birds of Prey anymore when you reach that certain CR. So you had 3, and now you're down to 2. And so that gives us a limited amount that we can get source marks per day as we can get them in. Yeah, it used to be every 3, now it's 2. It's super weird, super bad. So your source marks ratio turning it into quirks might be okay if you have nothing to really come back to. Let's see, 61 come back and run a feast was hard as to get everyone already have them. 6, you can ignore a lot of stuff with the money. Because, yeah, it does. Some things do cost money, like the artifact system. If you want an artifact at rank 160, you're going to drop money. If you want to get your artifact to rank 80 or 120, that's going to be a grind you don't need the money for. Time capsules, you don't really have to spend money, but if you want them quicker, spend it. If you don't, then you can just use the stabilizer event and you'll be fine. You don't really have to spend money, but it gets to a certain point at one of those levels that you do. The run and feats thing, people do run feats, but they also don't as well. But feats and skill points aren't really important enough that you won't have to stress about it. I always tell people, don't stress about feats. Run them, try and find groups that are running those feats and try and get them. You might luck out, but if you don't have a lot of skill points, don't really be sweating about that too much. There's always going to be a minimum amount of skill points that you need to complete your stuff. But if you're looking at your skill points and you look at your skills and like, oh my God, I need 285 skill points to even max out this stat. Don't max it out. The minimum you need is 100. The minimum you need for like for the might stat is 100. Dominance 100. All 6 of those skills, stat points. Those stat points. You only need a minimum of 100. So please don't ever stress about feat points. If you of course want to complete them, you will definitely find a lot of people in the game who will want to do them. There are leagues out there who do nothing but feat runs, and you'll find those people. And you might find people who also don't have them either. Even for me personally, I'm going to do feat runs for the anniversary event because some of those are just a grind and people don't have them. And I'm willing to help out with that because I like the anniversary event. It's actually pretty fucking fun. But please don't stress about feats at all. Those feats will easily come by and you'll grow. Don't also stress about like the amount of feats that are on there too. This is a 10-year-old game now. We have a lot of feat points. We have a lot of feats in there. It doesn't mean as a new player or even returning players, they don't have to have everything. As No Name said, having 600 skill points isn't really much of an increase when it comes to the stat levels themselves. So I always tell people just to really play. But anyways, but for quirks, so we know exactly how we need to do how we can spend our quirks, but we don't really have a way to really gain them. I think that quirks need to be on the marketplace. They need to be on the marketplace where we can purchase 10, 20, 100, 5,000, all that stuff. We see it all the time with like MOBA games. Well, we take MOBA games and like you can get your gems. Even mobile games have that same format too. That's what we need to do with quirks. And I'm not saying it's going to be like a better thing. It's going to be easier, but at least that's going to be a money revenue. Definitely a money revenue for the developers, but also for us that we can go straight to the quirks vendor. We can go to the space and time vendor. We can go to Booster Gold, and we can spend those quirks to get those old time capsules back. So we have an option for players who want it now. They want to spend that. They want to spend that money now, get those time capsules, get that cool rare items, get those cool styles now. Open time capsules, go for it. But for those of us, and even for newer players who can't get time capsules or they don't want to operate through the RNG system, let us buy our quirks and go to our vendor and buy it directly. We have the RNG gambling system for time capsules, but then we also should have a direct to buy. And the direct to buy method we currently have is still reliant on time capsules. It's also an option to use your source marks, which again, we only get a small amount of. And I still say small amount. It's still small. Man, sorry. But I want quirks to be that new premium currency that we can purchase. And even for PC players, that would mean for us that we would have to go to Daybreak's site, buy the Daybreak cash, then use the Daybreak cash to go over to the marketplace and buy the quirks, and then spend those quirks in our currency as it shows up in our in-game, and go over to the Booster Gold and Space and Time and spend it. Quirks can be that premium currency, and I want it to be there. Because there are definitely stuff on the time capsule, on Booster Gold that I want to get, because I haven't gotten it yet from old time capsules. At this point, I'm not worried about time capsules of now. I will unlock as I go, and I will gain the styles and stuff as I go. But more or less, I'd rather go ahead and just get Quarks and buy it when it shows up on the vendor as a direct-to-buy method. But that's my Quarks rant. Quarks should be the universal currency for marketplace and get Quarks reward for playing the content. Yeah, the playing the content, they did the Raid the Universe event, the bonus week, and then they also did the episode spotlights. I feel that we should have, especially during episode spotlights, we should have an in-game version of those raids, of that content, especially probably the raids, in-game versions, and instead of getting episode currency or even source marks, we should get Quarks as our currency for completing that content for that week. We should get Quarks for that. I think that would be a good way to get Quarks in-game by just playing as well. Let's see here from Rotor. DCO is broken. We need a DCO game fix. Fix PvP. Technology update. Other better dev team who fixed DCUO. Game needs a fix. No. PvP fix. Kinda. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Blitz, but it's DCO isn't really broken. I will say definitely monetized to a certain degree, but I'm not going to say everything is broken. Technology update. We could use a new Unreal update, but I think what the devs are able to do with Unreal 3, again, with the new systems that they're doing it pretty well. But doing everything you're basically saying would basically be DCUO2, and that would mean DCUO now would be shut down and would not exist anymore. And if DCUO2 would mean a year or two of no current DCUO content. And that would mean the game dies. And even during that development, if DCUO dies, that's not going to mean that DCUO2 is going to truly live. They could easily say, you know what? DCUO, it's not going to work. They quit that game. We're going to cancel DCUO2. And they cancel it, and now we're all just flopped. I think the team, definitely what they have right now is working pretty well. I'm super excited to see what the new MMO is going to be. It certainly could be DCUO2. Certainly could. I'm not going to take that out of the equation because it's an Unreal 4 engine. But I think with DCUO, where it is right now, we could definitely still build upon it. Update just a little bit here and there. But, I mean, the PvP fix in of itself is, I don't know. In my eyes, for a PvP fix, I think we should just have like a battle pass system to try and encourage folks to actually PvP first. We definitely need new maps. We need new styles for PvP. But at this point, I'm okay with a battle pass system. Probably one that, if it even has a premium version, people can buy into or they can sub up for. If us members would probably get it for free, that's how I would see it. Because if members would have to buy into the premium version of the battle pass, I count that as double dipping, and I will punch somebody in the face. Probably like an inanimate object, but I'll still punch someone. But PvP, I can see more or less the utilization of adding the battle pass, add new styles, add new maps, but then the play style of PvP, I don't think there's really much that can be done because it's the combat system for the game. And it's a combat system that works in PvE, but apparently doesn't work in PvP because some things get exploited, and I think some of that stuff really needs to be explored to really see how that kind of fixes it up. Excuse me. Elmac, the graphic update from the financial release thing, don't count that. That's not real. The graphic and I'll explain it again. The graphic update that was explained, that was an investor portfolio. That investor portfolio was there to entice investors to say, hey, DCUO plans to do in the graphic update in 2021. It's a plan. But because it's in an investor portfolio, it's to entice investors to put money into that. It's to, I'll suplex maps. That'll be good. But it's to entice investors to actually bring money in to get that done. I'm not, until I really hear from the developers that the graphic update is actually going to come, then I don't think it's really going to work at that point. We're not going to have a graphics update unless we get investors to come in. DCO PvP was not broken with the stats revamp. Stats revamp was fantastic. mean, definitely some stuff here and there, but we had some new balance passes to make it better. But no, I mean, is. I'll say PvP is playable. It's not enjoyable. I'm not gonna say PvP is broken. PvP is just not fun to play right now. But the PvP on the PvE aspect, now we're skating high, dude. That's fucking great shit. Stats revamp. I was a big fan of the stats revamp. I'm pro revamp. I am pro revamp for it. Some things were not completed and not balanced when the revamp came out, but we've had new balance passes with pets, nature, with tanking especially, that made it better. And we're definitely at a good spot. Controllers probably need to be re-looked at. I think they really do. But I mean, so far, I think like some minor variables just within some certain powers just need to be looked at under the microscope better. But on the grand scheme, it's definitely better than what it was. The whole watermelon. Oh my god, that hurt. Oh my god, my back hurts from that. Ugh. But yeah, let me go back to this. But yeah, Quarks. Quarks should be the future. Vault. This also ties into the other one too, because I put Vault update and login rewards. It kind of wants to go kind of hand in hand. So we run the Vault daily, and we get cash. We get some old styles that, I mean, for us who have been playing, we're kind of done with. And then we also get, of course, Nymph Medal, which is great, especially the weekly Nymph Medal that we get, that 3,000. That's a really great thing. It's either we need to look at updating the Vault or possibly removing the Vault and putting login rewards. Excuse me. With login rewards, it's really, I find login rewards sometimes lazy and doesn't encourage actual gameplay where the Vault does. The Vault really requires us to actually be engaging with the game to get our rewards. Even if it is just spamming ranged or melee buttons to just break boxes, that's still an engagement. Login rewards is just logging in, pops up, it's like, hey, here's your reward, hit claim, and it shows up in your inventory, and then you kind of just log out and you're out, and you're done. I find it a little bit of an annoyance. I see the good and I also see the bad with a login reward. At the same time, you have to look at too is the login reward. A login reward will be tied to an account. It's not going to be tied to like per character you have to log into and get a login reward. It will be to your account. So that's a system that they would have to plug in to probably put it like on the redeem menu, or it'll be whatever character you log in with. That's where the reward is, and you need to send it to however you want it to go. SOTOR has a login reward. I think it's also account bound too, not character. I need to take a look at that. I'm more a fan of just redoing the Vault. We need to at least every 3 or every 6 months kind of recycle. We need to recycle some stuff. Login reward, thanks for breathing, and you're out. Yeah, basically. With the Vault, with our styles, we need to kind of recycle them a bit. We have the sharpshooter stuff in there. Sharpshooter styles need to be removed. Put something else in there. Put like the voodoo or one of those other rare styles that we've never really seen anymore. Put those in the Vault for us to always try and get. Make a new vendor. Call it the Vault vendor or something, and all the styles that were all previously in the Vault will show up in there. The rings, those orange OP kind of rings and necklaces, update them. I think they had some pretty cool buffs to them. I think those are items that need to kind of fluctuate, that need to scale with the player. I think they need to drop into a box. That box, we open the box. All right, we get the box. We open the box. And that ring or necklace, I think it's probably a necklace, but it ties into our CR, and we can utilize that cool buff. That would definitely be a reason why we can always rerun the Vault so we can try and get that rare drop. I know it was there primarily for new players, new characters, to level up easier. The level the level better into it, you know? But at the moment, when as an in-game player we get that, it's like, oh, I can't even salvage it for an exobyte, so immediately that's just get this out of my face. The vault should also drop along with its weekly nymph metal. I think it should also drop a weekly exobyte, an exobyte of a large XP amount per weekly. We should get exobytes from the vault, just from breaking. I mean, the cash in there is nice, but cash isn't king anymore. The cash that we get from the vault, the cash that we get from even completing missions, it's nothing. It's tiresome. What's up, Charles? It's just absolutely it's the cash that we get from the vault is just not worth it anymore. Replace the cash with exobytes. Give me exobytes instead of cash. Every player can utilize exobytes more than the in-game cash. The only way you're going to make money, the only way you're really going to make in-game cash is by playing the broker. The stuff we get from the vault, the stuff we get from the missions, it's not worth it. It's terrible. It's just absolutely terrible. It's not worth anything, not worth the time. So I think we should just replace the cash from the vault and just give us exobytes. And if we have to do the login reward section, we already know exactly what we want, what we need. We don't need cash. Don't give us cash. And it's weird to say, like, for who comes in and doesn't know the game, it's like, don't give you cash. I'll take his money. You don't want that stim check? I'll take that. I'll take that. The only way to get cash is to EJ Pow. Yeah, EJ Pow just needs to get fucking destroyed. It's amazing that those websites don't get shut down. I don't know. Trex, think of this. Get rid of gray items and add more nymph metal. Well, we don't get gray items anymore. And yeah, any gray items that are like in the game currently now, like, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to say goodbye to the chicken. We're gonna have to say goodbye to the chicken. But we don't but current content doesn't have gray items anymore. So gray items are just or an old thing, and yeah, those are in the old style of the game, closer to launch stuff. Yeah, agreed. Replace it with nymph metal. Fuck it. But if we do login rewards, we definitely want nymph metal. We want exobytes. The login reward system needs to be concurrent with how the game is now. The vault is updated slightly to where we are, but it's still an archaic system. And I don't want the vault to truly go away because I like that engagement. And so because if players are engaged in the vault, I want to see the ratio and see if players are actually like continue playing on instead of just doing that. I mean, our stabilizer event, login rewards, definitely needs stabilizers. We need stabilizers in that reward. We got 3 rewards already out of a 7-day week, you know? And if we even double it, so it's like first 3 days, you get those 3, and they're minor. The next 3 days, oh, those are double the amount. And then here comes day 7, seal of preservation. Day 7, seal of completion, you know? So a login reward I think it would be a good idea, but I also don't want it to take away from the engagement. Because even for SWOTOR, I logged in, I got my reward, and I logged out. There was really nothing for me to really want to do. We should get login rewards to entice people to log on daily. That works as well. And I definitely feel... And I want folks also to even make a forum thread with login rewards. Like, we have a lot of folks there, and I know you don't go to the forums a lot, but even if you have, like, ideas, you can even go to the SourceWall Discord, share your ideas of a login reward, and even make sure you tell us the login reward. And we can even find it. We can compile it, make an article, and it's like, hey, devs, read this article. This is what your community wants, or at least a small fraction of it. Maybe 10 people. Go for it. Because that's what I did with the artifact thread. I wrote this article. I sent it over to Maps. I'm like, look, these are ideas. These are ideas that the community still wants. And there's still a lot of great ideas in this article, and I really want it. And so with login rewards, if we as a community can offer suggestions that what we want to see as login rewards, then we can definitely see it. Let's see. Cloud suggests a loyalty vendor would be cool. 100 currency per day and have high-end items in there, like completions for, say, 1,500 currency or 20,000 artifact experience for 1,000. That's an idea as well. That's a good idea. Actually have a loyalty, a little loyalty program there. That's cool. Well, you just have to say it nicer, Habits. You just have to, even I have to filter myself a little bit. We're 121 strong. But yeah, so Vault login reward, our daily rewards, I think tying into a login reward would be good, but I will also not want to see the Vault go away because I still want that engagement. And I already talked about the Quarks currency, and of course the last thing is the UI. Yeah, we definitely need a new UI. We were going to get a new UI years ago, but downsizing happened. It happens, and hopefully all those developers found new homes to continue game development. And so the UI got put on hold, and then ultimately got trashed. The new UI that we saw was definitely, I felt, it was nice to see, but it wasn't also the prettiest either. We do need a new UI for DCUO. DCUO's UI is its launch. It's 10 years old. What the developers have been able to do to utilize the UI and update it with the fortify menu, with the base list, and now with our vendors, we have catalogs in the vendor. It's definitely been great updates, and they have been great band-aids. But now we certainly need to look at the UI as a whole to really get that fixed, to really make it utilized. The UI for the broker is one of the biggest ones that really needs an update. It truly needs an update for better searching. It needs to be smarter searching, basically. And ultimately, sometimes DC has a mountain of band-aids. They do. And some of the band-aids have actually stuck pretty well. And other band-aids are definitely flopping, and it has the scab still attached to it. I like the new bounty reward progress bar. The new bounty reward progress bar, that's another thing of the UI that was updated that they were able to do, and I commend them for. That was a perfect UI that we need. And what's even better is that UI for the bounties, that timer and everything, that's the timer that's used for mythic runs in WoW. World of Warcraft, we do mythic runs, and we have a timer that gets started, and we have to defeat that timer in a certain amount of time, and we defeat each boss at so first boss 1 defeat in 10 minutes, boss 2 15, all that stuff. We have the UI now that we can kind of do that speed run kind of a thing, you know? We can do that speed run. We can do that Elite Plus idea that I absolutely still love, and where we want to have our players challenged. These players want this hard content. Fuck, they love survival mode. They want hard content. Shove that shit into Elite Plus. Like, welcome to Elite Plus. A plus 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 15 if it fucking wants to. Keep adding to it. And that's our timer. That's your timer to defeat the boss. That's like how fast did this group defeat this Elite Plus alert? Like, oh, they defeated Elite Plus 7 in 20 minutes. Oh, yeah? Here's my new timer. 18. Number one, bragging rights. And that's all about, is truly bragging rights at that point. People don't like hard content. They like more stats. And let's see, from Cloud, they could do a community outreach that gets community members to say design/code new functions for the game the devs could potentially use/be inspired by. It's that kind of thing. that kind of thing is always where mods are. Like I want mods, you know? Like I can't stress enough. One of the beauties I like about World of Warcraft are my mods. I can change my UI. It's a mod. I can change my auction house to how I want to use it. It's a mod. You know? Boss fights. Boss warning when it's actually happening. It's a mod. If we had access to the API, we could actually have modding. But the problem there is PC would have the mods. PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch wouldn't have those mods. That's why we don't have mods right now. That's exactly why. Because it would be a PC only. Even the consoles do not like modding. They fucking begrudgingly took Bethesda's modding for Elder Scrolls stuff. Begrudgingly. Sony was fucking furious that Bethesda's like, modding is coming to PlayStation 4. Like, whoa, yeah! Sony, what the fuck did they just say? What? Go to the Bethesda crowd, exactly, pretty much. But I don't think Daybreak or even Dimensional Elite Games has that kind of clout where they can use Bethesda money to say, we're doing it, Sony. What'd I say? We're doing it. But that's one of the things I was like, I want the modding to and a lot of the mods that happen in World of Warcraft, Blizzard, Activision actually utilized. They took a lot of those mods and made it into their core game. So us as a community, all we can really do is, and it's not like it's the only thing. It's like, this is the biggest thing we can do is offer these suggestions. We offer these articles to show these ideas. We make these forum threads to offer these ideas. And the more informational you can try and make it, the better. I mean, of course we showed math. We showed this and that, but all we can do is offer it. The developers, at the end of the day, they're the ones who are, if they're able to do it, if they want to do it. A lot of the coding in this game is 10 plus years old. That's why we still have this UI. This UI is not intuitive. This UI is no longer relevant to how we play the game now. There's a lot of stuff in the game that we have outgrown, and new technology has outgrown it as well. And I'm not going to say like the game was like, oh, you know what? The coding for this game feels like it was only going to last for like 5 years. But I mean, that's what happens also with MMOs is here's the core, and some of the things can be future-proofed, but then other stuff cannot be future-proofed. None of us really saw that materials or even fucking chromas were going to be a thing. Like materials, I know we all want materials to be more sectional. We want to share those. We want to unlock materials with our style unlocks. We know we want to, but the system itself can't do it. Maybe down the road, some programmer is going to be able to find a way to actually do it. Easiest way that I can see it is tie it to a feat, and when the person buys the feat, they get the material in their mailbox. I mean, it happens all the time. We do it all the time. That's like the quickest fix I can see for that. But at the same time, some materials are money makers, so they don't really want to share those between feats style system like that. But the UI is definitely old, and the developers know it's old. But again, the work that the developers have been able to do with our existing UI has been great. One of the biggest UIs that I want to see updated is target of target. And if you don't know what target of target is, it means that you have your character, all right? You have your character up here, and then you have your target, okay? Now, the target of target is basically this target, what the target is facing. So, as a tank, as myself, he should be looking at me. But some mechanics are going to be, he's going to look at someone, and someone's about to get fucked. Now, currently, we don't know who's about to get fucked. We have to just look at the boss and like, is the boss pointing towards me, or is he pointing to the guy next to me? I'm going to move. The guy's like, where you going? You're supposed to be my buddy. Here comes the boss, and he dies because he wasn't paying attention. Target of target is one of the big is a big UI help that will also distinguish where the boss is looking. Because I also have huge issues with the aggro system in this fucking game. The aggro dumps are too much. It happens way too often. Just way too often. And we don't know exactly where the boss is going to go because there's each ability has its own timer kind of a thing, but it's still an action RPG, so the boss is going to do what the boss wants to fucking do. So he can definitely still be on me as a tank, but he'll switch to someone else, and I won't know what that aggro meter is. And if we had a mod that showed a threat meter to register that, and because if a healer is gaining too much threat, somehow that happens, it's like, whoa, or even a DPS player. DPS will actually gets a lot of hate too. It's like, whoa, DPS, slow your DPS down. All right, slow your DPS. Let me as a tank build my aggro, and then you can get back to fucking job. Get back to your job. You are doing way too much. It happens more times than you think. And of course, the fucking rogue player is like, "Oh, you just fucking suck at a tank." It's like, no. It's like, no. You're just being an asshole, and you need to fucking calm your shit. Captain America wants to know your language. Rolling is also broken in DCUO lately. Trex. I hope it will be fixed. The rolling, I think I noticed that last night playing. It's like I tried to roll and it's like it wasn't like communicating fast enough. So, but I mean, if rolling definitely has a bug, please, for folks out there, record it, document it, report it, and so the devs can definitely take a look at it. I think at this point, even going back into bases for the white mods, some of the white mods need to be retooled, need to be relooked. I think everybody by default, the tumbling master just needs to go away. In DCUO, DPS are like bulls. Then they see the enemies. It's like when bulls see the red color, you simply can't stop them. And it's true. DPSs will jump into the fight first, and the tank is just like, he dies, and it's like, what? Well, and of course, in the DPS, like, where the fuck were you, tank? It's like, where were you? Are you supposed to be the person going in first? I think not. You got what you deserved. And if you don't like it, if you can't accept it, get the fuck out of here. Leave. And now let me as a tank get in there and do my job. But yeah, your name's absolutely right. DPSs are definitely, well, they just see an enemy and they'll fucking immediately jump in. And most of the time they'll jump in and the tank will come in then to save them. It's like DPS is like, oh yeah, I got in here first. I'm going to increase my scoreboard. Oh yeah, stab. Fucking DPS players. But that's it. That's all the notes I have for my 2021 wish list. It's, again, another probably long video. Good discussions as well. Hold on here. Ilmatic. How would you do target of target on console controller though? No, target of target would just be a UI. It's just a UI thing. It just shows up there like when you target your enemy, your target will automatically show who it's facing, who it's looking at to attack. That's it. That's literally it. You don't have to. It's nothing like you have to control yourself. It's literally just a UI thing. Is that why the devs have been doing speedrun streams? They could be working on changing the Elite Raids into Time Mythic. I want them to change into Time Mythic. I have been pushing them to do that. And I think this UI that they did for the bounties is a step in the right direction to get that done because I want it. Oh, I so want it. That's why I love Lasso. I grab mobs and the DPS to come to me. Fuck yeah, Zephyr. Fuck right. Lasso is a pretty fucking good artifact. I do like that. I do like it. I don't use it personally because I have Ragebringer, but I think for like my Earth, even for Ice, like Lasso is a good tool to use. It's definitely a good tool. Tank comes in and crashes whenever there's a new content because crashing usually gets forgotten. And deletable utility belts too. During testing, I try to make sure to talk about crashing because, yeah, crashing does try and get ignored or forgotten about. It's one of those mechanics for powers. And that's like one of those balance things too. It's like developers will make a boss fight and then make this crowd control ability in concrete, but then they forget Rage has that crash thing. It's like, oh wait, we need no damage while doing this because of our crash. And it's like, oh yeah, well, Rage is a little special snowflake. Let's go ahead and fix them up. Instead of us as Rage tanks kind of needing to time our rages a little better or trying to get out of it somehow. But sometimes there's just hard stuns that developers make. But it happens. It absolutely happens. But yeah, so that's my 2021 wish list. Everybody can, of course, agree, disagree. It happens. But yeah, so I definitely recommend folks going out there. I'm probably sure there's like a thread out there for a 2021 wish list out there. Just share it. I'm gonna have this video on YouTube pretty shortly, or probably later today. And yeah, how about marking targets with icons? I would love to have that Illmatic, but it's impossible. It's impossible only because of how our game doesn't utilize the mouse. I can't utilize my mouse to click on the target. I have to be like looking at it. And sometimes you're going to look at the target and then you like, all right, let me look at the target here. And I'm moving my camera. Target right there. I went back to this target. Fuck. So the targeting system isn't intuitive enough. It's not clean enough to utilize. I would love raid targets, raid marks. I would love raid markings. That would be great. So basically, you get into the raid, and if it's like a boss and there's ads around it, you would put the raid markers on it, and it would say, "This is the kill order: triangle, X, skull." That's our kill order. So everyone knows exactly where to actually go. So if you see a DPS person on skull, you could literally tell them like, "Hey, jackass, get your ass over on fucking triangle, and then get on X, and then come to skull. You don't need to be on skull right now." I really love yelling at people about that. Also, please understand too, World of Warcraft Trex is an asshole and completely different than DCUO Trex. World of Warcraft Trex, I'm an asshole raid leader. There is no talking. Only communication needs to be if you're down, if you need something, the raid leader is in fucking charge. DCUO, I'm so calm. I'm laid back. I don't fucking care. We'll get it done. It would be nice to have a target lock system or focus target system. Yeah. I mean, I just want my UI to have target of target, and so I can actually see who the boss is targeting. Because the boss is not targeting me. I need to taunt. I need to do something to get him back on me. And if it's part of a mechanic, then that person knows, like, oh, I don't need to be on this person. I need to move. He's looking for me. One more thing, Trex, electric movement mode styles. This long requested. They gave us Lightning Lad, Validus, new stack, flash, zoom. We need more new movement styles in several colors. It's extremely in demand. Yeah, and to be honest, the light stream and the smoke and stuff, marketplace. Add to the marketplace. I think new movement mode styles would be definitely something that needs to happen. Especially per power set, would be great. Power set movement styles. Do it. I'm sorry, Oceans. I'm so sorry. I know folks are also probably wanting more movement mode variants, because of course Flight's variant is the discs. I agree. We also need one giant disc for static shock purposes as well. I really want that too. Movement mode styles or movement mode variants, I would like to see different stuff for acrobatics and for super speed. I think that would be pretty cool to still try and get as well. You can already lock on the target, left bumper. The left bumper, and yeah, we still have that targeting as well. Like, it's tab on PC, but it needs to be better. The lock-on feature, it's not, and again, it's just not clean. It's there, but it's not clean enough. It's just not clean. Only got 2 so far. We need more, but not. Yeah, it needs to be on. Yeah, movement mode styles and the variants need to be on the marketplace. We need. Those are things that need to be on the marketplace. Armory change, alternate animations. Agreed. Armory change, the animations. Like instead of just, I mean, again, the smoke bomb, great. We have Wonder Woman players out there. They want to armory. I think for some different animations would definitely be would be nice to have. I'm not sure if we would put the armory change animations on the marketplace. If we do, it would definitely need to be like really cheap. And I would probably put that in like an emote category if we get. I really want new emotes too. Put that under the emote category if we ever get one, and definitely change that up a bit. Oh my God! For lanterns, we could actually do the lantern up, and then we change our armory. Body changing on armories too. Hulk or Shazam out. Body changing for armories, that would be a pretty neat idea too. I like that too. They could add a pop-up wheel with raid mark icons when you... Oh, fuck. You look at Illmatic over here. Yep. Illmatic with the pop-up wheel to do raid markers on targets. That's a fucking genius idea right there, bud. That's a good one. I like that. I like that a lot. Of course, it definitely needs to be... again, the targeting needs to be... Because again, like the choosing idea of switching between targets is awful sometimes. But yeah, a pop-up wheel, I like that. Fuck yeah, dude. Shit, put that in there. But body changing on armories, that would be a good thing to have as well. That would be good. The body changing, it's, I guess for the developers, it would just be weird to try and figure it out because like everything else that we kind of have. Body change because it's all a transformation. We do transformations. Tying an armory to an actual body style. That's probably some hard coding they can't probably get around. I'm not even sure how they could even possibly get around it besides it being like called in a transformation. But I mean that's a good idea as well. I know people want that too. I know one of the other things too, I didn't mention, let me go ahead and type it in there. So again, folks out there who play World of Warcraft, so World of Warcraft has a system called Garrison, and that's just a system I'm going to call it. With their Garrison system, it's you have your own area, your own area that was first introduced in Warlords of Draenor. You gain NPCs. Now, some NPCs can be bodyguards, and you can utilize them for purposes of going outdoor and doing being your bodyguard. So you have like an NPC that will help you fight, especially as a healer. It was really hard, and that bodyguard like really great. The other utilization for the Garrison was their duty tasks, their task menu. Their duty tasks were sending these NPCs out on missions to gather resources. Some of the resources was gold. Some of the resources were items. Some of the resources were actually just resources themselves. Let's see here. If they can lag transform us into all the Wonderverse content, they can make that happen. What do you mean by lag transform? I might have not been there for Wonderverse when that was going on. Mess won't like that idea. He will, or I'll successfully put him into a watermelon stance. With Cersei transformations? Oh, that! Oh, no, that's a transformation. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, they should be able to, because the transformation has their own stuff to it. Well, the transformation Wait, the Cersei transformations? Do you? I think you have your own loadout for that. I guess. Yeah, they should be able to then. It's the body changing that I'm curious for. The body changing, that's a loadout change, and we're looking at a different character. The body change is like the body shapes, the respect token. Yeah, the body respect tokens. That part I feel is going to be something hard coded that they can't get around. That's what I'm thinking. But yeah, the Bestiamorph stuff they should be able to do. Yeah, the mission table. Yeah, mission table that changes every episode. Yeah. So the mission table you can send out your NPCs and they'll come back with resources. That's a system that we should probably have inside, if not really inside our bases. We should have that in our base that we can send this NPC to go and do stuff. Like, that's a system I would really like to have. It's there because it's a little side thing. It's a little side thing that utilizes your sidekick for one. You can name it, whatever, and then you can also gain other NPCs. The DC itself, DC Warner Brothers, have to approve a lot of stuff. We're using their product, all right? So we would actually have to. We won't be able to like have Cosmic Boy in our with us. It's like, hey, Cosmic Boy, can you go and do this mission to gather some resources? It probably won't be something on that term, but it'll probably be something like we can just create some random ass name NPC. Like, as an example for Legion, we have the school, the academy. We can have some random NPCs given to us in our mission table, and we can send those kids, those students, out to do resource gathering for us. And yeah, it'll be tied to each episode. Bestiamorphs, or Amazons, we could definitely use for, we can use in Wonderverse. So each thing could be a different thing. Now, yeah, that is definitely more work for the developers, more time to create these kinds of things, or really just make a blanket system where it's one mission table. Missions get updated with each episode, but it's still the same kind of thing. And yeah, even the missions themselves, they have a chance to fail. By the way, thank you, Maggie, for the cheers. Much appreciated. The mission table just would have a chance of failure because each NPC in there would have buffs, and sometimes we'll be able to counter some of it. It's definitely a system I really like in World of Warcraft, and I really would like to see DCO kind of adopt that too, to give us that side thing that we can do. It's like, oh, this mission is going to take 8 hours to do, and so even doing it when you're not in the game, you can, when you're logging out, you can set your NPCs to do these missions, and when you log back in, even the next day, some things were done. So you still feel like you were able to get stuff accomplished even when you log out. It's a really cool thing, and it even has a companion app on the phone as well. It's great. Yeah, Elmac, we're talking about body transformation for a loadout armory change. So you're a medium, a striker. You're a striker in one armory, and then when you switch to another one, you'll be the brute. That's what D wants. That's what folks have definitely talked about. And let us use maybe 6 or 8 armories in the field. That's the armory thing. That's a controller. That's controllers right there. That's a whole controller configuration. So I definitely see why that's an issue. Because I mean, of course, we're holding the trigger and we're using the D-pad. The other option to use another section of 4 would be hold the trigger and then use X, Y, Z, X, B. Use our 4 actual action buttons. But that's just a limitation itself on the controller mapping. Could they come up with a different combination? For sure, but that's just going to be that's just going to be some hindrance that just can't be fixed. But okay, I've talked a lot. I talked enough. Who are you? What are you doing? Just staring in the corner? Don't be weird. Don't be weird. But so that's our 2021 wish list, and this is where I'm going to definitely end the video. So of course, follow me on YouTube, follow me on Twitch, follow me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, follow me on all the things. And then now we're going to jump into the actual game and get some content runs. I have no idea how long that is going to actually be. I wonder if I can actually edit that like right now. Ooh, I can. We must start the actual gameplay. Yes. And I also see. I'm trying to actually. I guess I actually don't see it. I see the one marker. I don't see the first marker. That's a problem. Oh well. Okay, that's actually me still broadcasting. I think this is the highlight. Oh, no, this is actually the first. Oh, this is where the first stream marker is. It was 2 videos. It got split. Damn. Okay, I'll fix that later. Oh. All right. While we're switching over to the actual game, let me go feed the cats. Being able to have a handheld device to change armories in the field, swap your 4 and then change. Yeah, I mean you could definitely swap out like down to offer more options, I guess. Well, it'd probably take away more. But it's just a limitation with the controllers. Which is why like consoles are going to be consoles. Let me go grab my treat bags real fast. I'll be right back. Hold on. My base amount came in, so I'm super excited. I had to buy a plate for my main 32-inch monitor, so I can actually mount it on the arm, and so that's going to be a fun thing to do later. Probably a pain in the ass. Come over here. Wow, he is really like all up in that shot, isn't he? Oh, that was my cup. Come here. Hoodoo. Look. Here's your treat. Look, come here. It's right here. And he takes it to the ground. Yeah, the armory system, I'm also not a fan that you can change it on the fly immediately. The armory system is great because you can change your style, you can try out new different stuff, but like being in combat, I feel like armory shouldn't be allowed to be used in combat. That's how I kind of see it. It shouldn't be usable in content or in combat. The reason for that is that perpetuates even more usage of the 3x5 format. Because when you go into a raid, you should be that role you signed up for. That should be it. And then, if the tank goes down and there's a DPS player who's also a tank, it's like, hold on, I'll do it. That's great. But if the tank goes down, and it's a wipe. When we're out of combat, use your armory. It's like, hey, why don't we go ahead and get a second tank? I'm like, okay, cool. Pop it over and then just hell in there. And of course, that's just me and my standard of running 2x4 for my raids. I rather just do it that way. Oh, yay, Dex, you came. No, hoodoo, fucker. You already had yours. Get your head out of the bag. And I gotta wait for Dex to be done with her treat before I can give you one. Before I can close the bag. Nope, you're not taking her treat. I think in combat it should be only used once and resets when you leave the instance. I can go with that too. I can go with that. You done, Dex? Okay. Yeah. Sniff and try to lick her crumbs. I hate that you can jump on my lap. And you're done. Don't hurt. Nope. Don't, fucker. This is my treat. Or technically my food, my lunch. Kellogg's protein bar. Milk chocolate. It's so hard. Like I could break my jaw. It's so cold. All right. All right, so now let's get some stuff going. Thank you, sir. Mouse, where are you?
Welcome, one and all, to Joker's Room of Fun, Mayhem, and Prizes. What will it be? Something to flatten your opponents? Or just some useless crap? Who knows? You pays your money and you takes your chances. Break the presents and get your prizes. That's it.
And I do my stabilizer event on other tunes because they need the Nismel more than this guy.
Wow. I get a little starstruck whenever you check in.
Alright, so I'm going to go over to Anti-Monitor Zone first. We're going to get our seasonal stuff done first. Vault, or revolving vault locations, maybe even different voice acting in each. It wouldn't be too bad. I mean, the vault does change with almost every season, so that's actually pretty cool. I did say treat back before, yeah. We gave my cat some treats. Now I have my treat, which should hold me over till tomorrow.
We're gonna have a good day today. I can feel it.
We respectfully request assistance neutralizing the invading superpower.
The resistance is made up of regular people like me. Together we can
I'm from a
down the
reality
monsters
that the
attack our
Anti-Monitor
city.
already attacked. Please, save my world's strongest
The Paradox
hero,
demons are attacking
Alexander
entire
Luthor.
realities. I can help you stop
The
them.
hell?
Those Cordians are not letting up. We have to work together to hold them back.
I feel like I just need to make a repository therm that has like the DC file on it and let folks kind of download it. They can download the repository of just like basically just normal files. And then that way when they can just put it into their folders and then they just have to update the game. Because yeah, that DC install does take a long time. You're gonna keep sniffing the bag, you're gonna get away from it. No. Alright. Ow! Wow! Hello! Hey, buddy, Philip. Fucking hell, cat. Fuck it, it's just faster. It's literally just faster to do it this way.
Get this thing off of me!
Hey, Eduardo. Yes, I play World of Warcraft. I might be jumping back into SWTOR a little bit. I mean, and SWTOR is really because like Mandalorian was like badass. And then I also I'm gonna be playing New World whenever it decides to launch, which I'm super excited for because I really want that fucking game.
Let's get this thing. Thought I was a goner.
So goddamn good. Oh, and Pantheon: Rise of the Fallen will be another MMO I play as well. Which I gotta check my bank account and see if I can drop another 50 in there. Yeah, log on the SWTOR when Star Wars hits hard. Stand there for 10 minutes and log out. But Solvar, you get that login reward, don't you? You definitely get that login reward.
Get this thing off of me!
I played Guild Wars a little bit. I think I actually still have it logged in. I didn't really give...
These streets aren't safe anymore.
We do? Jax, where's Sudu? Hope I didn't hear him meow or cry even. But yeah, I played Guild Wars for about a week. And it was definitely a pretty fun game. I need to jump back in and really give it more of a go. Wow, how can you keep up with so many MMOs? ADD. ADD. Like that's the best way I could say it. It's not easy, but it's not like I also stay very active in there either. It's really playing them and then like taking breaks from them. All right, anime. I'm done with the paradox. And I need one more for, or two more actually. Well, actually about to finish up with the Atlanteans.
Someone help me!
I technically only need one bounty.
Guide our victory.
Alright, I'm gonna head over to do the accordion stuff now. You need the big Archon Shadow Demon?
Paradoxes have made this universe irresistible. An endless supply of energy for me to feast on.
If you find it, we'll kill it. Oh, that was two guy named Quick. Oh, good. Getting treats. You're done. Oh shit, I'm sorry, buddy. I didn't see it until it was over. Don't leave.
I gotta get better equipment. Where are the heroes?
There you go. I hope that you double or triple for crowns. Currently, you need 515 crowns for everything this year alone. Did you only need the one, or did you need two more? Okay. We will rock. Yeah, Lunaria's amulet just for the self-heal alone is phenomenal. Oh, I found one, if you come to me. Ooh, that was bigger than I expected. Fine, fine. I'll go tank. I'll go tank. And that's the other thing I hate. Like when you have a target locked on, you can't change shit. Run! You didn't run.